Hey everyone, BrickBrony1894 here, the adult fan of Legos, superheroes, Star Wars, and My Little Pony. And let me just say this right now, I love Star Wars. As a kid, I have always loved Star Wars. I built Legos out of Star Wars, as you can see right here. I have the 2006 version of the X-Wing fighter, as you can see right here. Luke Skywalker right there. So, anyways, yes, I am aware that Star Wars Episode 7 is finally out in theaters, and from what I've heard so far, it's really good. Please do not spoil it for me yet, because I have yet to see it. So, to prepare for Episode 7, my family and I went to Best Buy yesterday to purchase all 6 Star Wars movies on Blu-ray and DVD. And I have a confession to make. I like the prequels. Now, before you hit that dislike button or hit unsubscribe, let me just say, first and foremost, that no, I don't think that the prequels are better than the original trilogy. In fact, Return of the Jedi is my favorite out of all 6 Star Wars movies. However, the prequel trilogies are not as bad, in my opinion, as others see them to be. So, last night we watched The Phantom Menace, and I thought it made sense to go ahead and watch all 6 Star Wars movies in chronological order. Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 5, and Episode 6, so that once we're done, we'll go and see The Force Awakens, which I know is going to be awesome. Again, please don't spoil it for me. Okay, so I guess you want my opinions on The Phantom Menace. You probably think that it's bad or something like that. Well, honestly, for me, the best way I can describe The Phantom Menace is that it's fun. I mean, it's not awesome like the original trilogy combined, but at the same time, I can still enjoy the prequels, including The Phantom Menace. Now, I'm not going to deny that it's a pretty flawed movie. Of course it is. There are a lot of problems, like the acting. Now, I will say that Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, and whoever the guy is for Palpatine, they were really good actors. In fact, Obi-Wan is probably my favorite character because he's a good guy. And Qui-Gon Jinn is a pretty good character too. Yeah, the rest of the acting, I can't really defend. Especially Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mace Windu. I mean, when you compare Samuel L. Jackson's performance in something like, say, I don't know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or Pulp Fiction, or The Incredibles, and compare it to his performance in Star Wars prequels, yeah, there's no debate. Sorry. Samuel L. Jackson's performance was just not that good. I mean, I get that Jedi are supposed to be calm and collective, but Sam, come on! You're better than this! Okay, anyways, also, I think Anakin was okay-ish, but again, with Natalie Portman, I'd rather see her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe than I'd see her in this movie. And also, one of the reasons why the original trilogy was so successful was because it was simple. With the prequels, things were more complex, especially with The Phantom Menace. There was a lot of political stuff involved with the Trade Federation and negotiations. This is a problem for a lot of fans of Star Wars, a lot of haters of this. Yeah, I'll get to another one of those in just a second. But for me, honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. And here's another thing that doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers everyone else. Jar Jar Binks. Okay, honestly, I don't really see why everyone hates this guy, okay? There, I said it. I honestly don't see the problem. I mean, he's funny sometimes, but yeah, there are some times when he was not really funny or annoying. And I can't really defend the toilet jokes either. Sorry. Now, here's something else that I want to try to... Now, I know I said that I wasn't going to try to defend this episode, but there there is one thing that I am going to point out, and it's the whole midichlorians thing, that they're inside of us, that they're kind of what composes of the Force. For New Hope, the Force was simple. It was an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds us together. In the Phantom Menace, they decided to go for a more scientific approach. I mean, you could make the argument that this is all a scientific explanation for the Force. It's like combining the Bible with astronomy. I mean, for me as a Christian, I believe in the Bible and what it says. I believe that God created the earth and the universe. The Bible never states specifically how God created the earth, and that's where astronomy comes in. It's like combining science with religion. And this doesn't have to go just for Christianity. It can go for whatever your religious beliefs are. I'm just saying that it's a way of combining religion with science. That's what I think the midichlorians are. But yeah, if you still don't like it, I get it. Now, one of the definitely good things about the prequels was the fight scenes, especially the lightsaber battles. I mean, they were awesome. I mean, the fight between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul was really amazing. Although, my dad had to call bogus on that, because 2 guys against 1 Sith Lord? Really? I mean, he was like, that was just a bunch of baloney, and that in the end, Obi-Wan was able to slice him in half. Speaking of which, I couldn't help but comment, should have aimed towards the neck, because if you've seen the Star Wars The Clone Wars CGI show, you probably know where that goes. But what I also found interesting were the pod races. I mean, those were pretty cool too. It was like watching NASCAR in Star Wars, or actually it was like watching a science-fictional Ben-Hur. And is this really what some people are complaining about? Because honestly, for me, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, it was just really cool. And also some of the space battles, like the Naboo starfighters versus the droid starfighters, and also when Anakin blows up that space station. Although that's another thing that my dad called baloney on, because apparently Anakin was just able to conveniently destroy the reactor and therefore blow up the space station, and thus destroy all the droids. Yeah, convenient. But other than that, there is one other issue that I have, and yes, it is the overusage of CGI in comparison to practical effects. Though I think R2-D2 was a practical effect, I think he was real. But other than that, yeah, there was way too much usage of CGI. In fact, the reliance on it was probably too heavy. This is one of the reasons why the original trilogy blows the prequels out of the water, because they used practical effects as well as CGI. From looking at the behind the scenes, well, they were just shooting a lot of stuff in front of a blue screen, and yeah, even I get bothered by that. There should have been realistic sets, and honestly, in my opinion, but I will say though, that the CGI does look good. I will say that. I mean, yeah, there is a little bit of noticeable stuff like Jar Jar, but again, most of it does look realistic, like the battle droids and some of the sets. Speaking of which, Naboo, the Water City, and the Temple, they look astounding and beautiful, as well as Coruscant and the Jedi Temple. But again, yes, there is way too much usage of CGI, but all in all, I still enjoyed it. And all in all, I do like The Phantom Menace, just not as much as I did when I was a kid. But still, it's just part of enjoying Star Wars for me. I like seeing the Star Wars movies. Though I might change my mind when we have to see Attack of the Clones. Oh dear. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please comment, like, and subscribe. God bless, and I'll see you all later.